shutting that business down and moved back to Berkeley County here and decided to start farming again. But I didn't want to farm like I'd been doing before and going and borrowing a bunch of money and buying $300,000-$400,000 tractors and that kind of thing. I wanted to try to. The other thing I want to try to do was use the space that I had here. Got 30 acres of high ground and I don't know, maybe 100 acres of woods, and I wanted to use the place, as I think it ought to be used as a homestead, where your farm is and where you can keep track of your animals and what you got. And anyway, it's just something that's in my blood. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else I'd do if I wasn't trying to raise animals. Well, I've got some, I brought some books out here that I've been, I've read over the years. Actually, the first book I read was Pastured Poultry Profits from Joel Salatin, who is like the godfather of the local food movement. He's got his farm, Polyface Farm up there in Swope, Virginia. Read his book and also heard about him through reading Omnivore's Dilemma. What I found through Joel and other books is, it's not all about farming and the bottom line. It's about, kind of finding ourselves again and our kind of knowing where our food comes from. It's just becoming more and more important, even to the uneducated person. They, are starting to pay attention about, what they're eating. Basically, what separates me from other hog raisers and other livestock animals is the animal welfare side of it. We're an animal welfare approved farm, and they do an excellent job in setting, rules and regulations. Things like with the hogs, you can't, they can't be in a farrowing crate. They're, must be allowed to, as Joel Salatin would say, express their pigness, or the chicken expresses their chickenness. You just want to provide a place for them to just be the animals that they were meant to be. They weren't meant to be locked up in houses and sprayed down with chlorine, bleach, and given antibiotics to keep them healthy. That's just not the way God created animals, and nor did I don't believe he intended for them to be done in such numbers. But efficiency, just so the big companies got more and more, it was all about the bottom line and how much money could be made. Okay, well, our meat is healthier because it is higher in CLAs, which is the good cholesterol. It's also higher in omega-3s. Omega-3s are beneficial to our systems. In any animal that's raised on pasture, or as far as my ruminant animals, my cows and my lambs that are grass raised, they're going to have a healthier metabolic profile themselves with the healthier fats and proteins, unlike ones that come out of a confinement operation where they're going to, their meat quality is going to be indicative of what they've been fed too, whether it be cattle in the feedlot or hogs in the hog house. And nobody knows what they're being fed. That's the other thing. I mean, it's so, the ag-gag laws that, they're trying to, or I guess they have passed in the state of North Carolina as of late, they're trying to even, make that even more untransparent, by not letting us know what the hell is in the food they're feeding the animals. And anybody that gets to know me and my family, their farm is wide open. They can come see anything I have, and I can show them what they're eating, what I give them to eat, and what they're eating naturally. Most of my animals get, I'd say, roughly 70% of their diet on pasture or in the woods through acorns, grubs, and other things of that nature. And all the feeds that I've been giving them are all GMO free. I actually grew my own, and with the help from my cousin last year, we grew our own non-GMO corn, and then I grew 7 acres of non-GMO beans out here as well, which we use to. Corn provides the energy, soybean meal provides the protein, and then with like a balancer mineral supplement, they're combined with some other things like barley and oats to make a better balanced diet. Just like humans are meant to have a balanced diet, so are my non-ruminant animals, my hogs and my chickens. Anything that goes into the food chain and is not given antibiotics or hormones would never be used anyway. We do use antibiotics to treat animals that are sick and in need of help. I'm not a believer in absolutely not ever using them, but they don't go into the food chain. I'll find another market for them. And it all starts with basically honoring the animal from beginning to end, and knowing, having that traceability of knowing where the animal was born here, and it, goes on to become a steak just down the road 35 minutes. So you got the local food part of it. It also helps me, and I know I'm big and way more than I need to at this point in my life, but it makes me feel better to eat healthier foods, and I know what I'm putting into my body, and I know what I'm putting in my children's body. That's really more important to me than anything, is giving them better habits than I had as a child. Spruill Brothers Pastured Meats. I named it partly after my 2 sons, Brooks and Charlie, and also in honor of my brother who passed away 16 years ago at 23 years of age. He and I actually had bought this farm a year before he died, and it's always kind of been there in the back of my head. I always wanted to do something special with it to honor him and his memory, and I think he would be very happy with the way things have turned out here and are continue to evolve. Because he was as big an animal lover as I was. We enjoyed the outdoors. We hunted and fished, and really we spent a lot of time with our granddad, Papa Nick, growing up, and he, showed us about the ways of the outdoors, and we always loved it. And I have no doubt in my mind he would be back in some form or fashion if he were here today, still be involved with this part of it. He would, absolutely be in love with it. And what we've been able to do and what I've been able to show his nephews, Brooks and Charlie. Brooks is named after him. And, he liked to eat as much as I did too, so he would be, I don't think there would be any fillets left in the freezer when I went to pull an order. So, anyway. The public deserves better than this. I mean, regular people deserve to eat decent food that, is actual food, like real food is what we're trying to produce, real food, not, created in a factory food. That's what we're about.